Happy Wednesday, everybody. We made it to the middle of the week. We're in for a stormy day today. It has already begun. It began about an hour and a half ago. The wind and the rain. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz for this 13th day of May, 2026. Got up at 2:45 this morning, my usual time. Went outside and it was warm. It was 66 degrees and there wasn't a breath of breeze anywhere. That has changed. It is here, the low. The much advertised trough of low pressure is barreling into our area. Right now in the valley, westerly wind at 30 miles an hour. That's the sustained wind. We've already had a gust close to 40. It's going to get stronger before it gets weaker, and some rain associated with it as well. The wind advisory is underway right now, goes until 11 o'clock tonight, but starting now and for about the last 90 minutes or so, all the way through into really Friday night. It's going to be at least breezy most of the time, and oftentimes very windy. A weather forecast that's going to take us everywhere is coming up. News, of course, sports. Maybe the Mariners should just play the Astros all the time and call it good. They did it again. They hammered them, routed them 10-2 in Houston last night. We got highlights of that. A lot of prep action in the playoffs yesterday. We'll have your scores. In the back half of the program, it's Get to Know another one of my coworkers. In this case, it's Pete O'Kane, one of the two news editors for the Wenatchee World. A pretty interesting conversation. Pete's a pretty interesting guy. I enjoyed it anyway. I hope you do. That'll be in the back half of the program. We have a lot to get to today. It's the scenario that presents itself every once in a while. We have 5 pounds worth of programming and a 4-pound bag to cram it in. So let's go. And we got some pretty dramatic camera footage, I'm sure, today. The Wenatchee Heights camera, there are the clouds. Everything is coming in from the south and the west. So when you go outside, just look to the south and the west, and that's what's coming our way. Looks like it's raining a little bit in the Sunny Slope Birch Mountain area, and we are going to have some light rain off and on throughout the course of the day. Can't even rule out a thunderstorm, really. By the way, we hit 83 yesterday, 83 for the afternoon high. That's 15 straight days of our afternoon high being above normal. There's the Hay Canyon camera. You can look, it looks pretty ominous there over Mission Ridge on the upper right-hand corner of your screen. It looks like it's raining there lately. That's from looking over most of Cashmere, not all of it, but a pretty good dose of it. Stamen Flats looks something like that. It looks pretty cloudy and a little windy along the Columbia River. And speaking of cloudy and windy, Green's Knob, which looks a lot like the other one. Isn't that cool how Green's Knob, even though they're not even close to each other, well, I guess they're kind of close. That's Green's Knob, so that's Lake Chelan that you see there. And it's pretty stormy up there. Winds right now, again, to the Wenatchee Valley, sustained at 30 miles an hour. We've had a gust close to 40, and that's about it. Everybody else is really not that windy at all. In fact, it tells me in Manson, it's only 20 mile an hour winds, but it certainly looked like more than that. So here we go. Wind advisory is underway, goes until 11 o'clock tonight. Now the strongest winds, and right now it's pretty strong, the strongest winds are actually going to be between about 1 o'clock to about 10 o'clock. We're going to have a long period of very strong winds and the occasional gust pushing 50, and that's here in the Wenatchee Valley. There are, of course, other locations that are more prone to strong winds. I have a distinct feeling that we're going to see some power outages today in our area, and maybe some trees falling down, things like that. If you have a high-profile vehicle and nothing in it, you're going to get buffeted around a little bit. So it's going to be a very stormy day today. The big story, although we are going to get wind, the big story, we are going to get rain, but the big story is definitely the wind all day today, into tonight, into Thursday night. It'll finally calm down by the time we get to the weekend. Might as well get used to it. From our friends at Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, it's where comfort, care, and community come together. Showers off and on throughout the course of the day today. Again, a thunderstorm is not out of the realm of possibility. Now it says our high of 66. Right now it's 64. At 1 o'clock this morning it was 70 degrees. So this is going to be one of those scenarios where our high temperature for the 24-hour period that makes up today has already happened. It happened about 7 hours or so ago, and windy all day today. Yeah, it's just going to be just batting down the hatches. The skies will clear out tonight, 48 for the overnight low. The wind will decrease, but not very much. It's still going to be windy into the overnight hours. Tomorrow morning, sunshine. Tomorrow afternoon, clouds as the trough continues to barrel through. This is a pretty sizable trough of low pressure that's coming through. So we're only going to get to 67, and it's going to be windy again Thursday, and it's going to be windy Thursday night as the skies clear out. Friday, sunshine, much cooler, only 63, and yeah, a little breezy on Friday and a little breezy on Saturday with a high of only 63. So the temperature is going to be about 10 degrees below normal by the time we get to the weekend as the cooling trend continues, and then things turn right back around by the time we get to Monday and Tuesday of next week, right back to sunny and mild conditions. But the next 36 to 48 hours are going to be pretty darn interesting, to say the least. We're going to take a quick break. It's only 2 minutes, so we're not going to waste too much of your time. Then we'll come right back and give you the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Get ready to sip, sway, and celebrate at the Lake Chelan Wine and Jazz Festival, May 14th through the 17th. Experience over 35 live performances featuring jazz, blues, funk, and more, all set across award-winning wineries and scenic venues around Lake Chelan. Enjoy world-class wine, incredible food, and one-of-a-kind musical journey through wine country. Don't miss the Lake Chelan Wine and Jazz Festival. Get your tickets now at chelanwinejazz.com.
Vape companies have a history of targeting teens. Now, they've been caught red-handed marketing to minors in Washington state and forced to pay millions in a major lawsuit. When it comes to your health, choose what matters. Choose you. Nicotine in vapes can increase feelings of anxiety and depression. Though quitting isn't always easy, it's a great way to care for your mental health. When you're ready to take control of your well-being, choose the Tomorrow Health app. It's free for Washington teens and proven to work.
It is raining lightly. Temperature continues to drop. We've gone from 70 degrees at 1 in the morning. It's now 62 degrees here in the Wenatchee Valley. Very windy and light rain all day today. Windy tonight and downright hovering between windy and breezy all the way into Friday night and into the weekend. It's some crazy weather out there. 8 minutes after the hour, Wenatchee police responded on Monday afternoon to reports of a man armed with a gun. This is on the 1000 block of Fuller Street in Wenatchee. They arrested a 19-year-old in the process who police say shot into the air one time. No injuries reported. The suspect, whose identity has not been released by the police, was taken into custody without incident and then transported to Central Washington Hospital. Witnesses and callers reported that the man was possibly having a medical or mental health crisis. Police say that a criminal investigation and any potential charges are pending while the man receives the necessary treatment. The Eastmont School District's Community Facility Study Committee recommended Monday night that the district try and pass another school construction bond. About 75 people were in attendance as the committee presented their decision inside Cascade Elementary School's cafeteria. In 2024, the district attempted twice at passing a school construction bond to address aging facilities at 4 different elementary schools. Both attempts unsuccessful. They fell just under the 60% supermajority needed. The Facilities Study Committee identified Cascade, Lee, and Kenroy Elementary Schools as facilities that a new bond would address due to their overcapacity and outdated building conditions. The board did not make a decision on whether to run another bond, although Vice Chair Megan Vibert said they expect to have conversations about the next steps in future school board meetings. The Wenatchee City Council has scheduled a roundtable discussion tomorrow to discuss the banner application process that ended up excluding pride banners that would normally be displayed in the month of June. According to Interim City Administrator Edgar Reinfeld, the city began work in October on its own new application, given that the old process was not specific enough and would need to be updated. A complication around NCW Equity Alliance's application for the pride banners delayed the complete processing of their application. That was in March, and another organization applied for a banner display in their stead in a little over 24 hours later. The roundtable discussion scheduled for 4:30 tomorrow night before the start of the regularly scheduled City Council meeting at 5:15. A 23-year-old man was arrested in Moses Lake for allegedly hitting multiple parked cars while driving drunk. This happened early yesterday morning. Moses Lake police say they responded to a traffic accident shortly after 12:30 a.m. at the intersection of North Clark Road and West Meridian Avenue. Police say a 2006 Chevy Silverado driven by Burley Nelson lost control after he failed to negotiate a turn and hit a couple of parked cars. According to police, one of the parked cars pushed into another car, which then got pushed into a garage and struck another vehicle. Nelson allegedly fled the scene but was returned by a family member. He was booked into the Grant County Jail on suspicion of driving under the influence, first-degree malicious mischief, and 4 counts of hit and run. And an East Wenatchee police canine and his handler and another sergeant, they were honored during the annual Washington State Narcotics Investigators Association Conference. It was held last month. Canine Maverick and Officer Jordan Conley earned Canine of the Year for Maverick's 67 total deployments in 2025, 46 of which led to arrests. Maverick assisted outside agencies 23 times last year, was responsible for locating over 213 grams of methamphetamine and 326 grams of fentanyl. And Sergeant Joshua Vernig, he earned the Detective of the Year award for several investigations, including an illegal marijuana grow where over 3,200 plants with a value of about $3 million were seized. East Wenatchee police say Vernig was needed back in the patrol division, but said he displayed impressive investigation skills while he was with the drug task force. That's what's making news. It'll be another busy day today in the newsroom because they're rarely bored. That's the nice thing about this job. No boredom involved. The news tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, the NCW Life Evening News, 5, 6, and 10. Stay in the loop with what's going on here in the Wenatchee Valley and all of North Central Washington. We're on Roku. We're on Apple TV+. We're on Peacock. We're not on Peacock. We have an email address, news@ncwlife.com. If you've got a news tip, we'd love to hear from you. Mariners seem to have righted the ship a little bit. Cal Raleigh is off the schneid. Mariner highlights you're going to like in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
At Colonial Vista Senior Living, we believe life is meant to be lived fully. Our wellness programs inspire residents to stay strong, flexible, and confident every day. Here, curiosity is encouraged, friendships are nurtured, and every activity is an opportunity to connect, create, and enjoy life together. We invite you to experience the lifestyle at Colonial Vista Senior Living for yourself and discover why so many call our community home.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Sports at 15 minutes after the hour. Dominic Canzone hit his very first career Grand Slam home run. Randy Arozarena, he went 4 for 4. He had a homer, drove in a bunch of runs. Mariners rout the Astros in Houston last night. The final was 10-2, and Cal Raleigh wrapped a base hit in the 7th inning to snap an 0 for 38 slump, which was the longest hitless streak in the majors this season.
It's 2-2. This is a deep fly ball to the Crawford boxes in left field. Randy Arozarena off the back wall, and the Mariners take an early 2-0 lead.
Randy has been so quietly consistent, but this one was very loud as he gets that hanging slider out over the middle part of the plate. He puts the Mariners ahead.
Braden Shoemake with a 1-0 count. Shoemake getting his 7th start. He's going to float one into center. Zach is going to wait to make sure it's down. Still being sent home, and he will score. Astros on the board with a 2-1 game now. Braden Shoemake with an RBI, his 4th of the year. Gets another one and hits it down the line and left, and that's going to tie the game. In comes Altuve. Yordan Alvarez to third, and Christian Walker with an RBI double. We're tied at 2.
Well, there you go.
Canzone, a rocket, right field, his first career grand slam.
You gotta love the aggressiveness of Dominic Canzone. Imai, with his back to the wall, comes right in with the fastball. And Canzone, just as you said, Jay, looking dead red. He gets it and does not miss that pitch.
I wonder if they set the bullpen down now.
This is into left field, a ribby knock for J.P. Crawford. And the Mariners play even more add-on, 7-2 in the 5th inning. That was a big run to bring in.
What a beautiful approach in AB right there. He was working hard on that today in BP, and it's made everybody a little bit better on their base running and stealing.
Oh, everybody take a nice deep breath and rejoice. Cal Raleigh finds a knock. He is aboard. Yes. And he is very happy about it at first base. The long hitless drought has come to an end.
The inning before. I mean, he's just taking some abuse.
Randy, stay hot.
Now watch him
into
carry
the
the
corner. The catcher's speed is being waved home. Cal stampedes to the plate, and he gets in there standing. Oh, look at this. Look at him smile.
Carrying the mail for your boy. Randy's out there going, man, that's my catcher right there.
We go silent treatment here in the dugout?
Oh, no. Those guys were too happy for him.
Look at Seitzer.
I mean, every single person was up, standing up when that ball dropped into right center field.
Oh, Naylor's got the ball. Ever has when he watched him in Everett.
Boy.
Julio coasting over underneath it, and the Mariners win this one 10-2.
Mariners hope to extend their winning streak over the Astros to 10 games tonight, and Bryce Miller finally makes his season debut. He started on the injured reserve, but he is back. The Mariners are going to start going with a 6-man rotation starting tonight. First pitch, by the way, at 5:10. How did the rest of the American League West go? Well, the Cardinals knocked off the Athletics. That's good. We like that. Rangers, though, they beat the Diamondbacks 7-4, and the Angels lost by a run to Cleveland. The final there was 3-2. All right, the District 5 4A soccer tournament. Eastmont just rolled over Moses Lake on their home pitch last night, 8-0 to move on. And the other side of the bracket, Sunnyside shut out Eisenhower 4-0. So Eastmont will play Sunnyside tomorrow at Wildcat Stadium for a chance to stay alive. That's a loser-out game tomorrow. Eastmont Sunnyside in soccer. At the same time, down in Yakima, Wenatchee will take on Davis for the district championship. In the District 5 1A 2B soccer tournament, both Cashmere and Cascade are on a collision course for the district championship, and why not? They were both #1 seeds. Cashmere shut out Connell on their home pitch 1-0. They had to go to penalty kicks in Leavenworth, but Cascade won that one 1-0. Those two teams, Cashmere and Cascade, will play for the district championship in Royal on Saturday afternoon. Let's go to baseball. The 4A play-in tournament was yesterday. Wenatchee defended their home park at Recreation Park. They knocked off the Cadets 5-1. Eastmont just rolled over Sunnyside 16-1. Guess what? These two teams will play each other, Wenatchee and Eastmont, in a loser-out game at Dan White Field on Friday. That'll be fun. In the District 5 2B baseball tournament, Okanagan stays alive. They knocked off Cle Elum 9-8. Tonasket rolled over Columbia Burbank 10-2, but Lake Roosevelt's season came to an end. Riverview beat them by just a little bit, by just 23 runs. District 5 4A softball tournament. Wenatchee and Moses Lake are now on a collision course. Wenatchee beat Eisenhower 12-4. Moses Lake rolled over Sunnyside 16-0 in girls fast pitch softball. Wenatchee will take on Moses Lake in Moses Lake tomorrow in a loser out game to stay alive for a shot at state. In the District 5 2A softball tournament, at Freitas' season came to an end. Ellensburg eliminated them 13-2. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. It's National Crouton Day. It's National Frog Jumping Day. Frogs are known to jump. National Fruit Cocktail Day. No thank you. No, today is National Apple Pie Day. Who doesn't love apple pie? I love apple pie. It's hard to make a bad apple pie, and since there are so many different varieties of apples, you can make any kind of variety of apple pies. Granny Smith makes a great apple pie. Fuji's make great apple pies. Apple pies date back to England in 1381, and at the turn of the last century, in the early part of the 1900s, pies started to get a bad name for themselves, except apple pie, because apple pie was considered kind of good for you because it's got apples in it. But I mean, who doesn't like that? It looks, I'm hungry. I want apple pie right now. A nice warm apple pie just out of the oven, little ice cream. Bring it on, baby. Perfect. So today is National Apple Pie Day. Today I will partake. I'm just that kind of guy. Today in history, none of the Beatles were there. Well, the Beatles didn't exist anymore. May the 13th, 1970, the film Let It Be made its world premiere in New York City. None of the Beatles showed up. None of them did. The movie is quite depressing. What Peter Jackson did with the footage a couple of years ago when he released that big documentary is considerably more entertaining than the movie Let It Be. What I've seen it a few times on Betamax back in the 70s and 80s. It's kind of depressing. Let It Be, the last movie, debuted 56 years ago today. 45 years ago today, at St. Peter's Square in Rome, his name is Mahet Ali Akka, and he decided to shoot Pope John Paul II, and he did. The Pope gets shot. This isn't supposed to happen. Here is CBS News from May 13th, 1981.
A terrible quiet fell on the thousands who were gathered at St. Peter's Square at the Vatican today. A shocked quiet. 10,000 or more had come to receive the blessing of Pope John Paul. Instead, amongst the cheering and the peal of bells announcing the arrival of the Pope, they heard gunfire and saw the Pope turn pale and collapse, bloody, into the arms of his aides. Pope John Paul II had been shot. A Turkish terrorist who had threatened to kill the Pope 2 years ago is being held tonight by Italian police, the main suspect in the shooting. His Holiness was immediately thought to be in grave condition as he was brought into the operating room. Then, for over 4 hours, surgeons worked. His most serious wound, a shot through his abdomen. Doctors removed 2 parts of the Pope's intestines. The doctors called the operation, quote, successful. Tonight, they say, the Pope's condition, however, is guarded because, after all, there is still the possibility of infection. This act of violence directed against a man of peace stunned the world.
Dan, it is already the early hours of Thursday morning in Rome. The Vatican, like the rest of the world, is trying to adjust to the shock of this attack on the life of Pope John Paul II. Doug Tennell is standing by now to tell us more about the mood of Rome at this hour. And Doug, it must be a somber scene indeed there where you are.
certainly is. There is very much the atmosphere of shock, even in these early hours. Small groups of people are still walking through St. Peter's Square, looking for the exact place where what happened today happened, talking with the people there, exchanging the latest word on the condition of the Pope, and of course, some of them on bended knee, praying before portraits of the Pope and hoping for his speedy recovery.
The Pope would, of course, eventually recover. Ali Akka was tried for attempted murder, sentenced to life in prison, but in the year 2000, the Pope personally requested that he be pardoned and released from prison, and he was. And the American Basketball Association came to an end on this date 50 years ago today. It had already been announced that the ABA would go away and that 4 teams would be, I guess, absorbed by the NBA, and here it is. The Nets beat the Nuggets 112-106 to win the ABA championship. It is the last game in ABA history.
Skinner has the ball. 5 seconds to the championship. Hit Jones. It's all over. It's all over with 3 seconds to go, and the crowd storms onto the court. 1 second. The clock is out, and the ball game's over. Pandemonium as the New York Nets win 112-106.
The Nets, the Nuggets, the Pacers, and the San Antonio Spurs would join the NBA in the fall of 1976. Of course, the Nets and the Nuggets tried to join the NBA the year before. If they had done that, there wouldn't even be an ABA. The ABA was only down to 6 teams, but the ABA, its final game on this date 50 years ago today. Let's do some birthdays. The Pride of Detroit, Joe Louis, born in the state in 1914. He went 66-3 all time, and remarkably enough, he was the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world for 12 years, by far the longest reign. I mean, when you beat people up for a living and get beat up, you usually don't keep the crown very long. But he was the heavyweight champion of the world from 1937 to 1949, ranked as the #1 heavyweight fighter of all time in 2005 by Ring Magazine, and responsible for 2 of the best quotes. Both of these quotes were attributed to Mike Tyson, but it was actually Joe Louis who said it first. He can run, but he can't hide. And my favorite quote from Joe Louis, everybody has a plan until they get hit. Joe Louis, born in the state in 1914. Stevie Wonder is 76 years old today. There are 5 albums you should have in your collection, and you should play them. Music of My Mind, Talking Book, Inner Visions, Songs in the Key of Life, and a few others as well. You can't go wrong with Stevie Wonder. 25 Grammy Awards is the most all-time among any male solo artist. He won like the Grammy for Album of the Year in the 70s like every year, it seemed like, and he is the youngest ever living inductee into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. When he was inducted in 1989, he was just 38 years old. He released his first album when he was 13, so that's how you do that. Happy 76 to Stevie Wonder. I'll be playing your music later on today. Stephen Colbert is 62 years old today. Of course, his show has its final broadcast 1 week from Friday, and then I don't know what he's going to do. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. My AC was on for about 4 days straight. Now the heater's going to kick on because of this crazy, wacky weather we've been going on. We're doing this with the temperature. It could really tax your HVAC system because it won't know what to do. Of course, if you bought a new HVAC system from Alpine Air, you got nothing to worry about. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Mike Benada's got opinion coming up, and then Pete O'Kane, one of the 2 news editors of the Wenatchee World, and a pretty good guy. Had a chance to sit down and have a conversation with me, and you'll see that when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
NCW Life Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here. Oh. I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. with professional-grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Community is more than just a place. It's the people, stories, and connections we share. At the Wenatchee World, we're your neighbors, your storytellers, and your trusted voice. From uncovering the issues that matter most to celebrating the moments that bring us together. We deliver the stories that keep the community moving forward. The Wenatchee World, your community voice, here every day.
This is Mike, Mad Dog McNaughty. Everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, you want to know what some Republicans actually think about us? Okay, well, after our great president has dismissed the Epstein case as a Democratic hoax, House Speaker Mike Johnson said that Trump was actually an FBI informant trying to take this stuff down. Both of these statements, that Epstein files and that business is a Democratic hoax, and that Trump was working undercover with the FBI, is a clear demonstration about how some politicians will be willing to insult your and my intelligence. But you know what's worse? Some people believe this stuff. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Life Channel.
We've all dreamt of moving somewhere new. But what are home prices like? How are the schools? What are the state income taxes? And how's the weather? For all your questions, the Coldwell Banker Move Meter has answers. It's the only tool that lets you compare cities by cost and quality of living, so you can get a better idea of what your dream looks like and start making it come true. The Move Meter, only from Coldwell Banker. Live well with Coldwell.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, your place for fun, food, and friends. Happy hour every day, 2 to 7. Try their brand new menu and famous prime rib every Saturday night. Planning a celebration? Book your holiday party, wedding, or private event, even in their exclusive simulator rooms. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, where every day is a celebration. Visit today.
Welcome back to the program. Occasionally I endeavor to have an on-air conversation with one of my co-workers, our cousins, our sisters, if you will, from the Wenatchee World. It took me about a year to get Jenny on this show, and she had to win an award to do it. But I got her on the show, and then I hit up Pete O'Kane a couple of weeks ago and said, "You want to do the show?" Pete said, "No." No, he said yes immediately. And so Pete O'Kane has agreed to, well, tell us a little bit about himself. You've seen his byline. He's an editor, was a reporter, now he's an editor. In fact, I'm going to read, here's your bio, Pete, directly from the Wenatchee World's website. I joined the Wenatchee World as a reporter in 2016 and became an editor in 2022. I'm a graduate of Central Washington University and a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. That's it. Can I secure the movie rights to that bio? That's scintillating stuff, Pete.
If I get a cut.
No problem at all. Pete O'Kane, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. That's it. That's your entire bio. I don't even know where to begin. Obviously, United States Marine Corps to a news editor is an interesting change of professions. How long were you in the Marine Corps?
4 years.
4 years. So you did the hitch, so to speak.
Went right out of high school.
Yeah. And you got something out of it?
I mean, probably some personality defects, and like I'm in the VA system now, so I'm kind of cursed with that for the rest of my life. So yeah, I got something out of it. Well, got a few trips to Iraq, so I got to see a few cool countries.
Yeah. But I mean, at what point were you saying I'm not re-upping?
Like when I enlisted.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I always knew it was going to be 4 years. I always
Okay.
wanted to eventually be a writer.
So is it what I want to serve my country, or I don't know what I want to do yet, so I'll go ahead and give them 4 years? And
I always knew what I wanted to do. It was more like, I don't know, it just sounded cool. Yeah, I just, back then, this was 2002, 2003-ish. This is when the Marine Corps had the advertisements where they're fighting lava monsters.
Yeah.
That appealed to me. Yeah,
Okay.
That's all it took.
Our mutual friend and former co-worker Cal Fitzsimmons, of course, right out of college, right out of high school, enlisted in the Navy. I'm sure he's watching right now. He enlisted in the Navy, did his 4 years, and got out. And I asked Cal. I said, "Was there, why?" And he said, "The one thing I learned about being in the Navy for 4 years is I don't like being told what to do. I'm not good at that."
Yeah.
Is that maybe the same case with you? Being
I mean, there's some of that, because it's so, so strict. Like, there's just so many little things that you have to do to just in your daily life that you get kind of sick of it. Like you have to wear a belt when you're not wearing your uniform. It's just little things like that just kind of add up that kind of drives you insane sometimes. So,
but the Marines are not like the Army or the Navy. The Marines are the Marines. They're like the strictest of the strict, so to speak. Did that play a role? I mean, did you
that was part of why I wanted to join the Marines, because they presented themselves as the hardest branch. So
were they?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think so, but I'm sure there's 100 Army vets watching right now that are gonna kneecap me later. So,
did you need that discipline in your life at that time?
Probably helped. I don't know. I wasn't that crazy in high school. Probably less than Dan Kuntz, but more than Jefferson Robbins.
Okay.
So
that little happy space.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
That little happy space. So you're not. Have you aged out? I mean, can the Marines call you back?
I don't think so. I'm 41.
Okay, so I know there,
yeah.
There are certain, when you sign up for stuff, they may, hey, we got a war. I don't care if you're 36 and have a full-time job. Go get your uniform out of the closet and come back. They can't do that to you.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Right now, I don't think they can.
Right.
But laws change, so.
That's true. Who knows? Journalist, reporter, editor. What do you prefer?
I mean,
you're an editor now.
Yeah.
Do you think the term journalist and reporters are interchangeable? I don't. I think journalist is. I think you a reporter and then you maybe become a journalist. How do you feel? How do you feel about that?
I mean, I think they're fairly interchangeable. I mean, as an editor, you're still doing journalism.
Right.
I mean, you're just kind of helping other people craft their journalism. So.
You and Emily work in tandem, but you have different disciplines. You have different people whose work that you edit. So you, when people read the paper, what stories are that you edited? What parts and sections?
I mean, for the last few years, it's been primarily basically local government, education, public safety, some sports technically, although I don't really take the red pen to Rand stories too much. So it's a lot of stuff. I mean, it's quite, I mean, basically stuff by, well, right now, Jetty and Oscar.
Who do great work, and a lot of it, I might add. I see their bylines quite a bit.
Yeah, they can be kind of prolific. So
yeah, and they're accurate too, which is really the most important thing. Is that the first thing for an editor to make sure that what they wrote is accurate, or is it more like, is the sentence structure correct, and did you do any misspellings?
Depends on the writer. I mean, accuracy is obviously the most important thing, but I mean, there is some stuff that like you can't always know as an editor whether it's true or false, if that makes sense. Especially because you have short, you only have a couple hours really to get these stories edited and online, so you can't go through line by line, fact-checking name spellings all the time. And a lot of it for me is just, having been here for 10 years, is that I can catch stuff just through experience in terms of what doesn't sound right or what. So it's a mix of both. It's a lot of, I mean, accuracy is obviously number one, but in terms of like how I spend my time editing, it's a mix of, does this make sense? Is it written well? Is it, are people going to understand it? Because that's a tough thing. Is sometimes you'll get like a really complicated subject, which, you know, we're not. If you're writing a story about the city, you know, your audience isn't the city planners. I mean, it's one thing if it's great if they understand it, but like you're not writing for that audience. You're writing for everybody. So I mean, you want like some kind of, if you write a story about a like environmental application, like you want the average person to understand what they're talking about, not just the experts.
It could be an important story, but it requires a lot of nuance for the reader to understand it.
Yeah, I mean, you could write 1,000 words that are like super just accurate and bulletproof, but if no one understands it and no one reads past the first paragraph, you've almost wasted your time.
I've always been impressed with when Emily, when she was concentrating a great deal of her writing and editing on the port, the Chelan Douglas Regional Port Authority. A lot of moving parts there, lots going on. They're always in the news, one way or the other. And I always thought when Emily, especially the longer form stories that appeared in print, did a yeoman's job there. Very good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, very detailed.
Yeah, it's because it's, again, details are important, but if you don't have the details, you don't get the big picture.
Yeah.
Especially in government, right?
Yeah.
That's a big thing. At what point in the young life and the young world of Pete O'Kane did you decide I want to be a journalist or a reporter? I like the news and this is what I want to do.
Junior in high school, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it?
I think so. I think it was sort of through a program or a assignment we had. It's like an end of year assignment or something like that, where basically the school is like trying to get you to think about what you're going to do after high school. And I think might have been sophomores when this came through. I was obsessed with sports when I was a kid, and that was kind of the path that kind of went was like, oh, I should be a sports broadcaster. If you know me, I'm not very talkative, so that kind of like, it didn't last very long. So I was like, so a sports broadcaster, and then it was like, okay, so what should you do for that? Write for the school paper, write about sports. So then that's kind of where I found my lane, was through that. So I wrote about sports in high school. Even after I enlisted, I was still planning to go back to college and write. But sort of somewhere along the way, like the interest in writing about sports kind of faded away. I'm still interested in still watch. Well, I mostly listen to podcasts about sports and don't watch a ton of games anymore. But so yeah, so
you did school, then the Marines, then you went back to college. Is that correct, or is it?
Well, it was high school.
What was your timeline? Okay,
high school. 2 weeks after I graduated high school, Marines, and then after I got out in 2007,
Okay.
Right in college.
So where'd you go to school? I mean, I know you went to Central. Where'd you go to high school? Where are you from?
Cleveland.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. No, I'm kidding. We love Cleveland. I love their new logo, though, is not very good. Their new motto, have you seen it? The sign on the freeway. Welcome to Cleveland. Stop here and pee on your way to Spokane. They need to rethink
make
that.
a bankruptcy joke.
That's even better. So when you went back to Central, then you were like the old man on campus, right? Was that kind of a strange? I mean, were all the undergraduates hitting you up for beer money and stuff like that? I mean,
not as many as you'd think, but yeah, it was odd because I kind of took the scenic through college. So I was about 29 when I graduated. So it was odd, but I don't know. It's probably like set me up well to like work with younger people in general. So I mean now most of the reports are in their 20s, so it's it's just easy to.
I like working with younger people because I learned something new. I like sitting next to Oscar and Jenny because they're young and they're go-getters, and every once in a while I can throw a little tidbit of wisdom their way because I have institutional knowledge crammed in my brain, being born and raised here. That helps a lot. Was the Wenatchee World your first job out of the? What was your first journalism job once you walked out of there with a degree?
And so I worked for the Bremerton Patriot for 6 months. So I kind of worked for, there's a sort of hub of papers over in Kitsap County, owned by Sound Publishing. So they're all kind of sister papers. So I worked for the Bremerton Patriot for 6 months, and then they pulled me up into the Poulsbo newspaper, North Kitsap Herald, for another 6 months before I started here.
And just general news writing, or did you specialize?
Basically general. I covered like basically government and education.
So if you worked like for a big newspaper with this big circulation, but you get to pick your own beat, what would it be?
Right now?
Yeah.
Probably veteran stuff. That's the stuff I dive most deeply into anymore. It comes from my when I have the time to write about stuff. Is that like I think everybody should have like sort of a niche beat that they like to write about that maybe doesn't get enough exposure. So that's what I've spent a lot of time writing about in the last couple of years.
We do pretty good around here for taking care of the vets, do we not?
There's not enough mental health services. That's what the local providers say.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I talk to Tony Sandoval all the time, and some of the other in his line of work. They certainly give a damn. That's not the issue.
That's never been the complaint that I've heard from people. Everybody who works in the field seems to really care. It's just not enough support is what the main complaints are.
Well, what Tony basically his message to me was for counseling for veterans, especially those who served in combat. He says you really got to be. You had to have been there yourself to truly understand what they may be going through, and not just be a professional mental health counselor that has no experience in wartime. He said you really have to. So.
Yeah, I was just talking with Heather Hill the other day. She runs a Central Washington Veterans Counseling just a few blocks from here. Yeah, she says the same thing. It's just sort of a nuance and what's the term they use? Cultural competency. I think is what they use. Just basically getting what they're talking about.
Do you like editing? I mean, it's the next logical step. Reporter, journalist, whatever you want to call it, and then you move. The next logical step up is editing, which means other people's work is vetted through you. Is that something you'd like to do?
Yeah, I like it more than I thought it would. Really, so it's kind of. Sort of like a battlefield promotion to editors. We'd had a couple leave all of a sudden for new jobs. So it wasn't something it wasn't a career aspiration where I always just wanted to go as far as I could as a writer. So it's been a lot more interesting than I expected it to be. So I do like it. It's cool like seeing it click. So when you teach people stuff about how to improve their leads or something like that. So that's gratifying.
The lead is the most important part, because you mentioned before, if you don't have the reader in the first 2 or 3 or the first paragraph anyway, you're not gonna get them for the rest of the deal.
Yep.
So and headlines too.
Yeah,
headlines too. And how does one pick for the print edition of the Wenatchee World, now down to 2 days a week? You all know that, Wednesday and the weekend edition. How do the vetting process of this is going to be the lead story right below the flag? How does that work?
Well, we'll have an editor's meeting, usually the day before, or not the day before, well, the day before the paper goes out to the public.
Right.
We'll just have a meeting, kind of hash out what we've got. Usually our sort of main centerpiece is something held with like a really strong photo. And then, which is not necessarily the most important story, that could often be the lead story that maybe doesn't have great photos. So yeah, it's a short meeting. We'll just talk about what we've got, what's most important, what we think people will care about.
You folks, the editorial staff of the Wenatchee World, moved into our building over the winter time. It made sense to put the editorial staff of both the TV station and the newspaper together. It seems to have worked out pretty good. You have a slightly longer commute, I suppose, but...
yeah, for another 30 seconds or so.
Yeah. Was there any pushback about you guys moving in with us? It's kind of a shotgun marriage, you know how that is.
I don't think so.
Okay. Because I think it's worked out. I think it's made for a better product.
Yeah, and it's definitely improved just us working together. Otherwise we're just kind of blindly just doing our own things.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Do you let your reporters find their stories, or do you point them in certain directions and say, cover this?
A little both. I prefer when it's them telling what they're working on and I prefer when they're actually out there in the community and digging stuff up. But there's a mix of stuff where, because we get tons of emails, in other words, I see something come across, or I see something in the news, and it's just, hey, we need this, we need a local angle on this national story, or whatever. So.
Well, Oscar and Jenny, for two, because I sit next to them, I can speak for all of them. They have the number one skill set, which is they're curious. Mm-hmm. They're curious, and that's it. If you're curious enough,
yeah,
the doors will open. And Pete's right, by the way. We get a gazillion emails every day with people pitching us ideas and stuff like that. And you got to separate the wheat from the chaff, and that can't be. Most of it is self-grandizing stuff. Dig me, and you got to figure that stuff out, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy. What's next for Pete? Is this what you're going to do? Are you going to be an editor the rest of your life?
Oh, I don't know. We'll find out.
You going to write a book?
I'd like to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what. We'll see. It's on my list. It's on my list of things to do. I've done writing contests, short stories, and I just feel like I need to bump it up to the long form. What
I always ask this when I have journalists or reporters on my show. What papers do you read? How do you keep track of the news as Pete O'Kane? What paper? I know you read the Times, New York Times, because I tried to give you one of my gift certificates, gift subscriptions. You said I already have it. So what else do you read?
Seattle Times. Read them a lot. Try to keep up with the last state news through Washington State Standard. They do a ton of stuff for the legislature and sort of statewide policies. And then I always like to keep up with what's going on in Yakima and Tri-Cities and Spokane. I like reading Mitchell Rowland stuff with the Spokesman Review. He's a former reporter here. What else do I just like to keep up with the local stuff. But it's interesting seeing how other local newspapers are doing stuff. Everybody's trying to figure it out, so it's interesting to see.
That's the cool thing about this line of work. Every day is different. There's this isn't. We're not, making shoes on an assembly line. There's no question about that. Jenny Rodas did the show because she won the Robert W. Woods Employee of the Year award a few weeks ago. You have one of those plaques. You won one a couple of years ago. So I'm gonna close you out with this, Pete. When you were just a straight reporter, there must be one story out there that you did that you are proud of, that you can look back on X amount of years from now and say that was good. Good job, Pete. I mean, what's the best story you think you've done that really got people's attention that you're proud of?
Technically I was an editor when I wrote it, but the one that I'm probably most proud of was one I did on Alex White, who's killed outside the church a few years ago.
Right on Saturday of Apple Blossom.
So it was a story about.
It kind of ties everything because he was a veteran, right?
Yeah, so this was, I started writing a story after another veteran was shot when he was in crisis, after he'd shot into the VA building.
I remember that.
And so I just started asking, I started talking to people in the veterans community, well, that seems odd. That there's two very similar acts of violence happening out of the blue like that, and they're like, well, it's not out of the blue. There's a mental health crisis going on here. So really dove deep into what people are struggling with, what goes into these mental health problems, and then also what happened with Alex. Like, I sat down and talked with his mom for an hour or so. Yeah, really difficult interview. Sort of just emotional, because it was not easy for her to tell. That was obviously extremely painful for her. So for her to actually come in and talk was, a privilege for me.
And you can still read that online, I'm pretty sure, on that. Pete O'Kane, everybody. It's good to should I have Emily on?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'll ask her about you. Pete O'Kane, look for his byline and in the Wenatchee World. And thanks for taking time off of your busy day to sit down with me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Let's do it again next week.
Yes, do it again next week. We'll just make this a regular feature.
Yeah, I'm your co-host now.
Wake Up Wenatchee Valley has been replaced by the Pete O'Kane Show. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
A kitchen that makes mouths water and jaws drop. A bedroom from a dream with a bath from a spa. A walk-in you'd never want to walk out of. A pool like the fountain of youth. And a view that never gets old. When buying or selling a home of the highest standards, it's comforting to be represented by a real estate company with standards to match. Coldwell Banker Global Luxury. Live well with Coldwell.
All right, first things first, it's my live read for Pool to Spa Services Upgrade Relaxation with a Bullfrog Spa with the exclusive Jetpack Therapy System. I understand it's pretty cool. It's personalized comfort in every seat, and who doesn't want that? Visit Pool to Spa Services and learn all about it. At 1 o'clock this morning, it was 70 degrees and as calm as it could be. It's now 57 degrees. It's rainy and it's windy. Right now, the wind is out of the west at 18 miles an hour. Wind advisory is on. It began at 5 o'clock this morning, and it will go until 11 o'clock tonight. They may even extend it because it's going to be windy all day today. The strongest winds are expected between 1 o'clock this afternoon till 10 o'clock tonight. Not only is it going to be windy today, it's going to be sustained strong winds, anywhere between 20 to 35 miles an hour, gusts pushing 50. Here in the Wenatchee Valley, take a look at the map for the wind direction, where it's coming from. Basically, everything is coming from, this low trough is coming through, it's coming from the south and the west and is coming up in our direction and is bringing some rain with it. We've had patches of rain pass up and down. Chelan has had some rain today. Everybody has wind right now. Winds out of the northwest at 21 miles an hour in Ellensburg, 30-mile-an-hour winds in Moses Lake. It's kind of calm to the north of us, but that system hasn't gotten there yet. 66 today, rain and wind, and a lot of it. Tonight, the clouds scour out. We'll have clear skies. It's still going to be windy right through the evening hours tonight. It's going to be windy on Thursday. Sunshine tomorrow morning, clouds tomorrow afternoon. The wind's not going to die down, by the way, until Friday night, it looks like. Provided the show isn't canceled, I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.